Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Oversalt tournament on the 22nd of June. We are in the semifinals already in the matchup from Neso White versus Exblivione. I am Alenvil, one of your casters, and with me is George. Welcome, George.
It's very nice. Very nice for you guys to have me, and very nice to cast this match against Neso White and Exblivione.
Yeah, it's really a lovely match. So Exblivione has already won one of our Oversold tournaments, and Neso White have a lot of players that have been often in our tournaments, and we're now just waiting for a moment for the matchup to start. We'll start off on Dorado, and then we will move over to Eichenwald as the second map. And if we have to, we'll have the third map,
Looks
which will
like
be Ilya.
okay. Well, it looks like we've had some little bit issues with the lag there, but it's okay. What I'd like to see is what the defending team has to pull out of their bag to try and defend their title here. But let's see what comes out of here. As you can see, we have Exblivione on the attack and Neso White on the defense. Now let's see what comes out. And it looks like standard 3-3 comps on either side with Siberian on the Widow. I don't know if he's going to be sticking to that, but let's see what he tries and pulls out of the bag with this first couple of seconds of the map.
Yeah, that could be actually quite interesting if he gets the first shot off and if he can find, for example, the Lucio instantly. And especially the Widow could be an interesting part. I think that will be a quick switch off after probably trying to get a peek out, because I don't think the Widow has that much chance really in this kind of lineup.
Yeah, of course, you do have a lot of protection from this style of composition. But anyway, 5 seconds leading into the match. Let's see if they can get up, and it looks like they're going to be holding quite close to the door. Siberian has appeared to switch onto the Brigitte, but it looks like they're just trying to push the cart. There's two getting booped off the high ground there, of course. And it looks like they're just trying to force the cart in. There's a little bit of a brawl, but Chico unfortunately gets split off. That's not good for him. And now Exblivione can push forward back into them. It looks like Neso White is going to be backing off pretty quickly, actually.
Yeah, that should probably be a good idea, yeah. And I feel like that could actually work quite nicely for them. And I feel like it's just working out that way, that they're just backing off right now, but the pick was really essential for them to actually just do that way.
Of course, very good to get a good early pick, but it looks like Exblivione are actually hiding around the corner, maybe waiting for some Reinhardt barriers to recharge. A little bit of poke damage coming in here and there from Exblivione. And now they're taking control of the cart here. Let's see what comes out. You can see Cronus over there just scouting a little bit, seeing if he can get a poke into the team, but it looks like SFX already has this on guard. He's going to boop him away. And the Graviton Surge actually comes in from Space, so the Transcenders coming in from Yippee-Ki-Yay. Rally coming in from Siberian, but Doge goes down with the Shatter at the hands of Cronus. What an amazing shutdown we've seen there. And it looks like the Exblivione are going to be backing off, setting up for the reset here.
Yeah, and they did use one ult for that one and still could have countered out, and they have now 4 ults waiting for the next fight. Well, on the other side, Exblivione only has the Soundberry and the Transcendence and nothing really to be aggressive, since they did throw out 3 ults for that fight.
Well, they're coming up to Rene's bomb actually there, so let's see if they can get a defensive ult off here. Maybe that can just save them around and allow Rene to make some space with that self-destruct. As I see, they're actually going to take the flank on this one, something we see quite a few teams do, but not with the 3-3 composition. Doge is going to go in here, but the bubble comes out. The bomb comes in, but SFX is ready there with the sound barrier. Transcendence used by Angel Namran as well. That's not good for them. Double support ult there. It looks like they're just going to be playing a little bit passive here, just making sure everyone's okay before actually going in. We see Angel Namran trying to get a few of those Zenyatta volleys in, but the grab comes in from Infenry, and a lot of damage is coming in. 2 go down to the hands of Yippee-Ki-Yay and Chico, and it looks like pretty much a wipe at this point. We're going to be resetting this fight.
Yeah, and the key word in this matchup right now is ult economy. You can see how Neso White is just staggering their ults in perfect position that they don't like throw out 3 at once, as unfortunately kind of happened once again on the side of Exblivione. They did have to use this Transcendence and the Sound Bear almost at the same time, and that cost them quite a bit.
That it did, but it looks like they're going to be taking the same flank as they did before. Not sure what they were really aiming for, but they've got a Shatter and almost a Graviton Surge to work with this time. So let's see what they can pull out of their bag here. They're just going to try and play a little bit passive with Doge discorded on the Reinhardt there. His shield's getting low as well, but the rally comes in from Siberian and the grab from Spacer. Counter Shatter coming in from Josh and Yippee with the Trance, and that's a huge pick from the set. Rene countering with 2 of his own with the Diva Bomb, and SFX with the pick onto Josh as well. Now it's just a lot of ults getting used right now. A massive brawl coming in from the 2 teams. Doge is discorded though. He only has the Zenyatta heals to take care of him, so he needs to play a little bit more passive. Where's the payload though? The payload's actually getting pushed by 4 of them, and it looks like Exblivione have actually managed to stabilize a little bit. However, Neso White are coming in just now. They're going to try, and it looks like they're going to try and pincer Exblivione around the statue, and it's forcing them to play a little bit more passive. Shatter coming in from Doge, but SFX goes down to Yippee once again. And there's picks coming in all over from Neso White again, and it looks like they're going to have to restabilize, but the Graviton Surge comes in, locking them off cart! Wow. That's an amazing play there from Inferi. Graviton Surge off the cart, just trying keeping them off, making sure they cannot push it through overtime. What an amazing play from Inferi there.
Yeah, that was really nicely done with that Graviton Surge, but I feel like they made a slight mistake. They were too aggressive as they finally got a chance and a hold to push the payload forward, that they really tried to go for the kills even more in that case and just sat there, and the payload was just still inside that entranceway and they didn't push it forward. Just the reinforcements got the payload moving forward in that case, which is not really the ideal situation for them when you're already strapped for time anyway.
It's unfortunate, as I say, but the fight is still winnable here. Like, they pushed the cart a short distance at that, but there's many corners to hold around here, so we'll see what they can pull out this time. It looks like standard 3-3 compositions from either side once again, but with Exblivione on the defense this time.
Yes, that is one of the things that they have to keep in mind. But for one thing, I would say for Neso, they have to be careful that they don't lose Chico as early as they did, for example, in the last fight where they lost at the first start, where they lost him instantly, and that was the big push that actually Exblivione got out of that one, because if the Brigitte is gone, then one healer is gone already in that case.
But we're going to see Chico. Is Chico going to be staying on this Widow here? No, he isn't. He's going to be switching onto the Brigitte to pick to make this standard 3-3 composition. And it looks like they're just going to try and push the cart a little bit. We see Cronus trying to go aggressive onto Rene, get him off the high ground there. Nice and quick, so minimizing the pressure a little bit there. There's a little bit of a diva brawl going on between Descent and Rene there, but he's got a Discord and needs to be careful, and actually gets out of the mech there. Wow, it was very good play from SFX with the crowd control onto Descent there. And it looks like he's going to be staying true to his word with Josh. But Josh actually managed to find the pick onto Doge with the CC in play as well. But both teams trade Reinhardts there. But it's also looked like Neso here are going to be taking care of Exblivione in the situation, made the most out of it. There's 2 holding cart, but it's not matter. They've just made short work of them, and move forward they do.
Yeah, and one of the hidden heroes I feel like in that fight was Inferi, because there was always a shield on the person who was kind of targeted by Exblivione in that case, and that's why Inferi had the charge he had and was overcharged most of the time.
But it's just trying to find some extra damage there as seen, and the Graviton Surge actually comes in from Inferi. Jeff Hines 2, the bomb comes in from Descent, and doesn't manage to find anyone, but Josh got the 2 picks along there. The Transcendence coming in from Angel Namrin as well to try and get them to stay alive just so they can hold the point a little bit further. Bomb coming in from Rene as well. Actually manages to find Josh, but Inferi is cleaning up this fight as well with the high charge and Zarya damage. He's focusing everyone down at this point. Rene desperately trying, but Doge coming in with a massive shatter, and it manages to stun everybody, but the sound barrier also comes in from Cronus, trying to just keep them on the point, making sure they survive. They haven't made any notable picks yet, but the grab coming in from Spacer should try and ensure that Neso White doesn't stay on the payload. However, with Josh going down, that's not going to be very good for them. It looks like a reset for Neso White at this point and cleanup phase. Here we go.
Yeah, that was brilliantly played by Exblivione there, because I felt like they were so close to losing that fight, as Shiveron, for example, got the stun onto the Reinhardt, so he died to the D.Va bomb that bought him a lot of time, and then they found one pick at a time every time where they were a bit of a problem, and now they're moving against another fight.
But the shatter comes in from Doge. He actually manages to find Descent, but the Reinhardt shield is there from Josh. He's discorded, though. He needs to be careful, but unfortunately, he wasn't careful enough, actually. That's to Rene. The Descent trades the Reinhardt with the bomb, and Siberian goes down, and that's 4 picks now for Neso White, and all they have to do is push the payload that little bit further. It's just a case of how far Exblivione can hold out, and it looks like that they don't actually hold out very far. With Angel Namarin going down, you have no one there to stall a payload, and that will call it there. Well done, Neso White.
Yeah, well done there. They played that quite nicely there and just held on for most of the fight there and just got their advantage all the time. At least every ult got something out of it, and that kept them moving forward.
Here's a little bit of a good Lucio play we're going to see here now. He's actually just running around. Does he find the pick onto the mini D.Va? There it is. Well done, Cronus.
Brilliantly played, and there you can see even Inferi had high energy kills, and all of those were his eliminations there, so it kind of showed up how good it was. And Chico did play well as a Brigitte, was kind of a point for both sides of that. And next up will be Eichenwald, so see you there. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be preparing to head into Eichenwald right now, so we're still with Neso White versus Oblivion.
Okay,
up till then. So, yes. So,
you're having some issues there, my
yeah,
guy.
George, what do you think?
Well, it looks like Alenvil is having some issues at the moment, but let's not worry about that. I'm going to try and guess what he's trying to say, what I think I'm going to expect. I'm hoping to see a little bit of a DPS-heavy composition coming in from the attack, as we don't get much of that these days with the current meta we're in. And It looks like we're going to be preparing for 3-3, but I really hope that Siberian and SFX stay on the Widow and the Genji. Maybe we can have that glimmer of hope to see a quadruple or triple DPS here, but I'm not hopeful, honestly. It looks like 3-3 from here on out, as it looks it's the good meta comp. It's strong, it's reliable. Why not run it?
Yeah, yeah. Seemingly I was cut off, but you caught me on quite nicely what I was actually trying to expect there. But yes, they are. Oh, there is a Torbjorn. Will they keep the Torbjorn there actually to just move forward? That could be interesting actually, but no, they're not. They're not. They're not.
Okay, well, we see Kronos actually really forward here. Let's hope he doesn't die there. Run, Kronos, run. It looks like he got away this time. Well, let's hope Exblivione actually catches him. Joj getting dangerously low there, and Siberian is also getting really low. Angel Namrin actually getting picked there. Very early pick from Neso White there. But Exblivione have made their way onto the point. Spacer is on the point, but it's not going to last long there, even with that Zarya bubble.
Yeah, they get kind of cut off in the PC store where they got kind of picked off into a pincer attack where they couldn't really defend from both sides. They kind of got baited into that as they were trying to kill Kronos on that one, but they're moving in once again.
Yes, they are. And it looks like Doja's going to go in aggressive onto Descent, but the Descent is pinchering them. The Shatter actually comes in from Josh. He manages to find two with them. Gigantic Shatter, and it looks like they're going to be pushing forward with this as well. Back in spawn you go, Exblivione.
Perfectly played. Just waited for them to move in, saw the moment where the Reinhardt was jumping, hit the Shatter there, and now it's two ults for Exblivione with the Rally and the Transcendence against the 4 ults on the other side, and let's see how Exblivione can handle this situation.
Yeah, they have to be careful. The rally coming in for the Siberian might give them a little bit of survivability with the high ultimates, but Rene and Spacer actually get grabbed, and that's not good for Rene as he loses his Diva mech, but the sound barrier actually comes in from Kronos. Grav coming in from Spacer now, but the Transcendence from Yippee making sure they survive in the Graviton Surge. Now, Siberian needs to be careful. He has a Zarya bubble, but it looks like they're going to be backing out as well. SFX actually goes down to the hands of Enferi as well. We saw how Enferi was performing, and he's not living that down as well. It looks like they're going to be playing a little bit passive here, waiting for the speedy Lucio to come back. Doge actually has managed to build a Shatter, and it looks like 3 ults on the side of Exblivione. So let's see what they can do with this here as they push in now. And it looks like they're going to be trying to advance a little bit more. Doge with the Zarya bubble, trying to muscle his way in, but the Diva Bomb comes in from Rene. We're going to see an Earth Shatter, and Rene actually managed to find two huge picks there. Descent coming in with the Diva Bomb as well, but it's not, I don't think it's going to be enough here. As that's right, Exblivione actually managed to get control of the point, and they're going to be pushing up now, trying to find a pick on Descent, but he's just too quick for them. That's unfortunate. Well done to Exblivione for winning that fight.
Yeah, they played it quite nicely. They did push him quite nicely in there. Got the Reinhardt out of the vision, so he couldn't really stop the Diva Bomb, and that got 2 picks off there. And otherwise, they just played it out brilliantly. And now they have 3 ults still left up with the Sound Barrier, with the Graviton, and with the Transcendence. They do have 3 against them as well. 2 of those are tank ults, the Graviton and the Shatter, which could be quite dangerous for them.
Oh, but the Graviton Surge comes in from Enferi. Transcender's coming in from Angel Namrin as well to make sure everyone survives. The stunned out of the Shatter from Josh as well. Does the bomb come in? No, it doesn't. And the Sound Barrier is also coming in from SFX, trying to muscle their way in with all the extra shields that they've got. But there's another Sound Barrier coming in as well. And now Josh actually manages to go down with the Earth Shatter in the hands of Angel Namrin, but Doge needs to be careful. He's getting low. You don't want to trade Reinhardt's this when you've invested so much. But Chico and Yippee go down as well to the hands of Exblivione. It looks like muscling their way in, trying to get off that Earth Shatter seemed to really help them out there.
Yeah, and it was really nicely played there. They did have kind of an ult disadvantage with how they played it, but they still managed to get an ult out fast enough to just counteract the Sound Barrier in that way that they did get the Shatter out that helped them so much out in that fight.
However, they do need to be careful on this bridge. You see Cronus is going to come in from some environmental kills. Actually, two Diva Bombs coming in. They both get a pick, but Exblivione actually have the upper hand here with Doge going in and getting two with his hammer. And it looks like they're going to be capturing the second point of Eichenwald into the building phase.
Yeah, and I'd say actually there is kind of okay. So they're pushing far further. I could say that the graviton could cost them a bit that they use it early on in the fight, but they're backing off right now. So it seems like it should be fine for them. But still, they have to keep an eye out because the graviton is soon on the side of Neso White, and the fight begins once again.
However, it looks like Exblivione do have a Transcendence as well. So it looks like the Transcendence comes in from Yippee-Ki-Yay. We see the Transcendence mirrored on the side of Angel Namarin, but Siberian goes down, but they trade with Yippee-Ki-Yay as well. So it's a 5v5 from here. And Neso White need to be careful though, because both their players are going to respawn. With the shield of Josh going down so low, and he's discorded too. Graviton Surge actually comes in from Spacer. Does the Shatter come in? The Shatter gets blocked by Doge. What an amazing play. But the Graviton Surge comes in, actually manages to find SFX, but Descent gets out of his mech. That's such an integral part of your team that you've just lost there. And two going down for the side of Neso White. It looks like Exblivione are going to be pushing the cart from here on out. You see them trapped in spawn here. It looks like they're going to try and stabilize before taking an actual fight. You see Josh coming in onto the payload as well. Doge is getting CC'd around all over the place. He needs to be careful with the stun from coming in from Chico, and he's discorded too. However, the boop. Oh, but never mind. He managed to find nothing. Trans coming in from Angel Namarin as well. The Diva Bomb is also coming in. And rally also from Siberian as well. Now they can try and get some more offensive pressure. Also, Grav coming in from space and manages to find a few. But Siberian also gets grabbed in Descent coming in, and he actually dies in the middle of the Graviton Surge. What an unfortunate pick for Exblivione. And it looks like Neso White are going to be able to push their way into Exblivione here. And that was a very scrappy fight. But it looks like Neso White came out on top. Well done to them.
Yeah, it was really a scrappy fight. They threw every ult they had, both sides at each other, and right now it looks like Neso White comes out with the advantage. They have an Earth Shatter, they have a rally, and a lot of the ult charge looks better on their side than it does on the side of Exblivione, but we will have to see how both sides play it out once again.
Yeah, you see, Ren is no stranger. Ren looks like no stranger to doing work with the Diva Bomb, so let's see what he can do with this here as it comes in actually right now. But the Earth Shatter comes in from Doge and Josh, and Doge and Siberian go down, along with the rally from Chico as well. He is just going straight in there. He's trying to chase Rene down. Oh my goodness. But back into spawn they both go.
And I gotta say, brilliantly played from Josh there. Hit the Earth Shatter, then instantly turned around to shield his team from the incoming Diva Bomb that nobody dies. It was just brilliantly played. And they do have the Transcendence still. They do have the Diva Bomb as well on the side of Neso White, while Exblivione do soon have the Graviton and the Transcendence up for them.
Yeah. But Ferry's also getting dangerously close to that Graviton Surge. Actually just built it. And it looks like they're going to mini Graviton Surge this fight. But we're going to see what happens. We see one Grav come in, but the Diva Bomb coming in as well. Now we see the Transcendence coming in from Yippee-Ki-Yay. Earth Shatter comes in from Doge, doesn't have to find a home, but Descent finds Rene. Well, finds Rene's mech at least. Sound Barrier coming in from SFX. Actually, another double support ult from Exblivione, which is not what you need in this situation. Spacer goes down to the Earth Shatter from Josh, but he's CC'd away. Actually goes down to the hands of Descent, and so does Doge. Oh my goodness. Well, it looks like they're going to be pressing W in their way to victory, or at least they're going to hold this much. Well done to Neso White. What an amazing hold.
Yeah, they did quite well. Both teams had a bit of issues with the ults during this matchup, so it was kind of a bit weird situation.
Yeah, let's see what comes out from here, actually. I really want to see some DPS comps. We don't get them very often with this meta, as I'm sure I've already said. Why is there no team chat? I don't know, Chico. I don't know.
Yeah.
However, it looks like they managed to hold that really well. However, Exblivione seem to be really well versed running the 3-3 composition in at least the streets phase of Iconval. So I would quite like to see some mixed up compositions to try and counter Neso White and see what Neso White pulls out of their bag against the defending champions.
Yeah, okay. This is really weird right now, but right now I feel like Exblivione did show good at the street phase, as you said. They did get a good push there as well. But otherwise I feel like they just have a problem with close combat most of the time with this comp, because I feel like their Nisa White has a big advantage, and we're seeing a bunker comp now, so this could get actually really interesting.
And we have a pause coming in.
Yeah, but let's let's look right now at Exoblivion's lineup. This is actually quite an interesting lineup. They have the Orisa, the Roadhog, then they have a Mei and a Torbjorn as the DPS lineup right now, with the Lucio and an Ana as the support. So I feel like that is really nicely done.
So some of my contenders fans might actually recognize this composition. This is a composition run by the team Clockwork Vendetta, and it seemed to have worked really well for them by getting a perfect record in OD and being promoted to contenders. So let's see how Exblivione actually managed to replicate this lineup. We see a Mei and a Torbjorn, which is a very dangerous DPS composition with so much utility between the two of them. And it looks Inferi's going to be staying on that Widow, actually. So let's see what Inferi can do. It's quite difficult to get a sightline on the bunker, and she actually switches to Ashe over there. So
yeah, it's quite different to see for them. Yeah.
And it looks like we're seeing a swap coming in from Neso White, and it looks like they're going with some other sort of offensive bunker comp as well. They looks like a lot of DPS coming in, which is exactly what I wanted to see. Love some DPS getting thrown in there in a meta where so devoid of DPS. But it looks like Chico on the Pharah is going to try and poke at the bunker comp from a lot of different angles, trying to make sure that they just take that little bit extra damage. Shield actually goes down. Siberian actually gets hacked by Descent and actually goes down to Inferi's Dynamite. That's an amazing pick. And with Spacer down on the Torbjorn as well, you have no damage coming in from this comp besides the Roadhog. And it looks like cleanup. Chico is absolutely fragging out at this point. Angel Namarin actually manages to find Inferi, but I don't think it matters. They have cleaned them all off the point very, very swiftly. And it looks like Chico's going to be trying to poke a little bit from afar.
Yeah, it was brilliantly done, to be honest, and they played it quite nicely there. And now we see a bit of a switch around on both sides. And honestly, the bunker comp could have worked better, but they didn't really get a chance to close them off in any way, shape, or form, which that kind of comp could have done easily with setting up the wall and delaying them. And right now, the Sombra's in a weird situation. She has to get out of there, otherwise she's dead, but she gets out. And both sides are just preparing for the next push right now.
That's one of the things with the Sombra. You can just get out with your translocator at any point to make sure you never die. But you're such a valued part of the team that if you do die, it's not going to be very good for you. And there we see it. Descent actually goes down to SFX, the defensive Lucio. We didn't see the swap come in, actually, but it looks like Neso White are going to be running the 3-3, but swap out the Sombra for the Diva as well. And with an EMP coming in for Descent, we can see what he actually manages to try and pull out of his bag here. And it looks like it's going to come in. Nope. Siberian tries for the stun, but doesn't actually manage to get it off. And now we're going to see Neso White move in. Inferi with 2, but Doge with the counter charge onto him. But it looks like Neso White are going to be winning this fight, with the EMP being such a powerful tool. And now they get recontrol of the cart.
Yeah, and that is one of the things you have to be aware of. The Sombra is a great opening tool, which they use there to perfection. But if the Sombra doesn't work, you're missing something out that can actually take a bit of damage off of, for example, the Zarya and the Lucio and stuff, because you don't have the defense matrix if you swap the Sombra out for the Diva. And right now it works. But interesting, I feel like, is still that the Ana is still played on the side of Exblivione, but they're moving in now to start another fight.
Oh no, Kronos. What happened
Oh,
there,
Chico.
Cronus?
Oh,
Oh, it looks like they're all gonna go. What happened there? Did they all
they
just jump
jumped.
off?
They jumped off.
Oh no. Well, it looks like Cronus was maybe trying to get a little bit of a Reddit play in, but it seems like Exblivione, they've actually left the payload.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
they have.
Descent's just going to try and push it there a little bit, but he's not going to last very long with being such a squishy hero, or unless he does with the Zarya bubble. And it's like Neso White have come back, and now let's see what Neso White can do in this offensive situation. They have another EMP. They have almost
Oh,
6 ultimates onto their side.
oh.
Earth Shatter coming in from Josh as well, but Kronos managed to find Spacer. Doge actually managed to find the pick onto Josh as well, so they trade a couple of tanks there, but the Graviton Surge, Grav Bomb combo coming in. Doesn't manage to find anything though, which is unfortunate. SFX getting dangerously low. And what a reaction on that Transcendence from Yippee-Ki-Yay. Absolute god reactions from Yippee-Ki-Yay.
Oh.
But doesn't seem enough though. Spacer has managed to find the pick onto Chico on Brig as well. Yippee-Ki-Yay is just taking a little nap on the job there. That can cost you a team fight. Oh my goodness. But anyways, Exblivione going to be taking this one.
Brilliant played by Exblivione. They played it up brilliantly. They got good hits in with everything. I mean that they got the Reinhardt in the fight while they were all hit with the MP was really a stroke of brilliance for them. That it just gave them the opening to actually win that fight off. Because I think if the Reinhardt would have been there, it would have cost them so much more to get that out. But they do have a sound. They do have a sound barrier, and they do have a graviton against the sound barrier on the side of Neso, and the fight is brewing right now.
Yeah, but with only one ultimate on the side of Neso White, we can actually see how well Exblivione try and defend this. And it looks like they're just going to be poking. Cronus is just going to be riding those walls here. He's trying to look for an environmental kill by the looks of things, but it doesn't look like one's going to come out. He's playing too passive for them. And you can see Angel Namrain hiding. He knows he's going to get the Cronus is going to get the environmental kill if he moves from that spot. But he's playing in such a good spot right now. He has sightlines of his team. He has cover. But Grav comes in from Spacer with the sound barrier from Cronus as well. Transcendence coming in from Yippee-Ki-Yay. But the Graviton Surge also comes in from Inferi. Shatter coming in. SFX actually manages to find the boop onto Chico. Cronus with the pick onto Doge. Diva Bomb comes in. Doesn't manage to find anything. Oh my goodness. SFX, calm down, man. So many environmental kills in that fight, and it looks like they're going to hold this one.
Yes, and that would mean we would go to a third map to Ilios, actually, with that one.
Let's see what Chico is trying to do here. And Chico wants to get onto that payload, but they have no time. It looks like they're going to be having a stabilized fight onto this payload, but let's see if Exblivione can actually hold them off. They don't manage to, but Doge with the pick onto Josh as well. That's going to really hurt them. Descent coming with a clutch bomb as well, but Doge is just going to be swinging onto their backline, and it looks like there's nothing they can do to stop him at this moment. He's back into his team in full health, and he almost has an Earth Shatter. Actually does have an Earth Shatter. It comes out. He manages to get Descent and Inferi along with the nade coming in from Angel Namran as well. Such a clutch nade there. The payload is still moving though. Cronus is not dead yet, but he jumps off, and now Exblivione are going to take this one.
Yeah, and we're heading into a 1-1 now, so we are going to see how this one really shapes out for this matchup, because I feel like this could get really interesting now.
Let's see what Siberian does here. I think he actually manages to find a couple of the environmental kills. There's one. Siberian on the Brigitte. And now oh no, he stole SFX's play of the game with the pick onto Descent there. He used the boosters, but he actually managed to find the pick with that final whip shot.
Yeah, I mean SFX had in that fight 3 environmental kills. He got Chico at the start of that, and then just kept moving forward. And we will be soon heading into Ilios. So what's your thoughts about that map, especially with the switch ups that it has?
Well, with Ilios, yeah, you can see a lot of different compositions played. There's you got the very open map with the ruins where you can run all sorts of stuff, but you've also got the very closed map with the well as well. Potential for a lot of environmental kills and potential for a lot of range damage bunker compositions, but we'll have to see what these teams end up picking.
Yeah. And Honestly, this could actually be kind of interesting because I feel like both teams have been showing off that they can work around with the same strat. It depends on who gets an advantage at the start.
Yeah, no one has forgotten to play DPS, even though we're in a 3-3 dominant meta, but we'll have to see what comes out. Again, I'm expecting to see some sort of Orisa bunker comp on the well, at least, with the addition of Baptiste into the game, giving that additional survivability. But let's see what pans out. We actually are on Lighthouse first, so what are you expecting to see here?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So,
So yes.
and if everything's not okay on Alenvil's side, I guess I'll just take over here. So what I'm expecting to see here is some kind of basic 3-3, maybe a Winston on either side just to get that extra mobility. But I'm seeing a Reinhardt 3-3 composition, your basic stuff with Angel and Namarin on the Ana as well. We saw how that worked out for them against the Sombra composition, even against the 3-3 with the Diva as well. But let's talk about
About Neso? You mean
yeah
Neso? That
about
is actually interesting what they have set up right now with the McCree there. Okay, they're not gonna go with that seemingly, unfortunately. Otherwise, it would be really fun, but I don't think the McCree could really stand a chance if the normal 3-3-3 comp runs over him.
However, you do have to remember that McCree was buffed, and with such a huge buff, we don't really know his full potential at the moment. However, it looks like a normal 3-3 fight. No Winstons on either side, so very limited high ground control. But it looks like they're just going to be fighting around this pillar, seeing if they can get anything from like different angles. They're trying to pressure them in, and it looks like Doge gets pressured in. Actually, a lot of CC coming onto him. Kronos trying to find an environmental kill there, but it's not going to work out for him. And it looks like Josh is just going to take a nat little there. It actually works in favor of Exblivione as Josh goes down, exposing all of his team to the income damage of Exblivione. Well done.
That was a really weird ending to a fight. Nice knockoff there. I was going to say Rafid, who's now subbed in for Kronos, did quite nicely pushing the Ana off of the high ground, because that would have been a character that would have no contest whatsoever, but it doesn't look like Exblivion had to worry about that one, as the next fight is setting up soon.
Okay, well, let's see what they can do here. No, we see Exblivione playing really grouped up. Nobody wants to get picked by that Diva Bomb, but it actually manages to find Doge with this stun from the Siverion. But he's going on with the rally as well, trying to muscle their way in there. SFX also with the pick onto Chico. Graviton Surge coming in from Spacer. I'm starting to question if they really needed that, though. However, maybe a little bit of overcommitment onto Spacer's side there.
Might be a slight overcommitment, but then you could call the Nano Boost on the Brigitte as well an overcommitment. But they do have 3 ults still up against the 1 ult on the side of Neso right now. The Graviton is coming up soon for them, as well as the Sound Bear, but it's still an advantage right now in Exblivion's side, especially with the ult economy.
For me, I think it's all on Doge and Rene this fight with such powerful ultimates to use. We'll also see what Inferi can do with the Graviton Surge. Doge going with the Shatter, manages to find Josh and Inferi, both two very beefy tank characters, but the sound barrier comes in from Rafid. Doge actually manages to go down from to descent with the micro missiles, and it looks like that Neso White are going to be moving themselves onto the point here, especially with the pick onto Spacer, and it looks like they're going to be overbearing Exblivione. Josh is just going to be taking another little nap. He figures that this point's already I might as well just regain some energy. It's not over yet, though. Doge manages to charge him in Ferry right over the map. So both teams losing players. Let's see how they fare against each other like this.
Yeah, but even if you say it that way, Exblivion did get 95% off of the point already, so they just have to win more team fight, and now they have 3 ults, one up again 4, they're coming up to 5 as the fight is now breaking out.
Oh, I've seen more holds in my day. I've seen more ridiculous things, so let's see what they can do here. We have a lot of ultimates coming in right now. Josh with the charge onto Siverian as well. He's just the only one that's actually managed to save us all alongside Angel Namren. Rafid with the environmental kill onto Spacer, actually. Doge actually gets stunned with the nano boost, goes down with the help of the Discord orb. And it looks like that Neso White are going to be holding.
Yeah, Neso White played it quite nicely out. They used the ults just to counteract the other ults, and that gave him an advantage in that case. And right now they do have the Growly still up there, closing in on the sound barrier. Meanwhile, on the other side of Exblivione, they're closing in perhaps on the Shatter, and the Rally is coming up, but not much else, and it cost them quite a bit there.
Yeah, they pushed up quite far as well. You've got to be careful how you use your resources and something like that. But let's see what they can do now. We have a little Diva duel up on the high ground once again, but the sound barrier comes in from Rafid. Counter shatter from Doge. Actually manages to find a few, manages to pick Inferi off. And it looks like the Exblivione are going to be retaking control of this fight. Josh is completely surrounded. He has no idea what to do against this. And the Transcendence from Yippee-Ki-Yay, in my opinion, a bit questionable, but he has to hold that point off. They have 95%, so it looks like they're going to be winning this rather quickly.
Yeah.
However, still have
except they moved off the point, and Exblivione were on the point,
no.
and they got it.
Rafid moved off the point. I was expecting him to go in. Well, you got to pay more attention there. Unfortunate loss for Neso White. However, we still have 2 more rounds to go. And looks like Ilios, well, what do you expect to see here, Alenvil?
I think I would probably both teams will go with the 3-3-3. I would like to see a Pharah or perhaps even a Widow here, because the space is so open that you can actually take advantage of that. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like both teams have the idea to do that option right now.
It doesn't look like it. It looks like they're going to be sticking to what they've been practicing all through this match. It looks like they're warmed up on 3-3. They're just going to go straight in there with this comp and have a nice brawl. And we see Doge here. He's just going to go straight at Josh, even though Josh has the Harmony Orb and Doge has a Discord Orb. And let's see what comes out here. We have Chico. We're trying to get a bash in there, but it looks like nothing's going to come out for it with such a sustainable comp. Many abilities like that are just going to get nullified, except Josh with the Fire Strike onto Siberian actually manages to get the upper hand of Exblivione. And another Fire Strike onto Doge. SFX with the boop onto Yippee-Ki-Yay, but it's not going to matter much against 1 versus 6. And it looks like Neso White are going to take this.
Yeah, and I found it kind of interesting that they tried to fight it up there. I would have probably thought they would go in towards the center, because it feels like the environmental kills are mostly going in the way of Exblivione. So I would try to avoid fighting them there in any way, shape, or form. But right now they're just moving back.
Yeah, it's a position that both of them want to be in, as they both have Lucio's. Got Josh going down first there. That's not very good for Neso White. Reinhardt's such an essential part. However, Lucio is as well, with Rafid winning that little Lucio duel that they have. It looks like Exblivione are muscled away into the point, but the bomb comes in to try and get them off. Another Diva bomb from Rene, assumably to try and remech so he can deal a bit more damage. Shatter coming in from both Reinhardts, doesn't manage to find anyone. A Descent, oh my goodness, with the eat on the Graviton Surge from Spacer. What a powerful ultimate just thrown away. And it looks like Exblivione are going to be taking this regardless, though. They've got control of the point, but Neso White are still there. They're still fighting, but it looks like I just ate my words. They're just going to be going back out now.
Well, both sides have now a sound barrier, so this could get actually quite interesting right now, how the next fight will break out in that case. But right now, I feel like Exblivione have been having good fights, but mostly when it starts looking bad for them, they actually clutch up and just take the fights in their favor. But right now, both sides are closing into each other once again.
Yeah, we see a Descent actually on the point, trying to bait them onto the point to try and get them all grouped up and stuff. But Josh is trying to muscle his way in on Doge as well. Graviton Surge coming in from Spacer to try and get a pick off, and Rene actually manages to find the pick from Inferi along with Doge with the charge. He has an Earth Shatter, but he tries to block it, but Siberian actually goes down to it. When the Diva Bomb coming in from Descent doesn't manage to find anyone, but Exblivione are actually going to take this by the looks of things. They have the upper hand on all of the picks, And Spacer is going absolutely crazy with the high charge Zarya. He has tons of energy. But you don't want to feed too much of that to Inferi though, otherwise it's not gonna look good in the long run.
Yeah, but I want to point out something right now. Spacer is already at 68% once again from the ult. The first ult was eaten, then in the fight there was another Graviton, and now it's already closing up on the next Graviton. So that is a nice build-up that Spacer is having right now.
It's just a good matchup between two powerful Zaryas in Inferi and Spacer. It looks like he wasn't as impactful last time, but he already has another Graviton Surge as one comes in. Rene with the pick onto a feed with the bomb, and Descent gets demeched as well. Graviton Surge coming in again from Spacer, and it looks like Exblivione are just going to overcome against Neso White. It looks like they're going to take this one here, and indeed they are.
Congratulations, Exblivione. You get to go to the grand finals. You did quite a good job. Looked bad on Dorado for the start, but then you just sit down, just concentrate on everything. Eichenwald looked good, and so did Ilios now.
But you can't let Neso White not have their moment of glory. They really had, they really tried to overcome Exblivione, and we saw them on Dorado how powerful that they did look. But in the end, it just was not consistent enough. And although they fought very, very hard to try and overcome them, it didn't work out for the end. So very unlucky to Neso White there.
So that is the first match. So do you have any last words you want to say before we head off, George?
I would just like to say, what an amazing fight. It's an amazing piece of Overwatch we just saw. We saw how each member of their teams was using the utility to the absolute maximum degree, and that's what we love to see all of the time. And I think it was just an amazing match.
I can completely agree. And so with that, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys with the grand final. Bye.
Goodbye.